Hello. It is
Hello.
July 1st, 2024, 7:16 p.m., and you are watching the Strange and Eclectic episode 33 of the Dovecote. Um, the guest that I was supposed to have, their computer was not happy right before the stream. So instead
sad.
of instead of a it's Queer Wrath, which means there's a chaos to this now. Um,
Mhm.
I was talking about this, and Grief and Lilith were like, "Hey, well, come on if you'd like some company while you go over the news." And yeah, welcome to the Dovecote episode 33, a short one.
Wait, hang on a second. You told us we were talking about Final Fantasy 14. Hang on a second. Wait.
Tell me about Final Fantasy 14.
There's cat girls.
Yo, that's awesome.
Now there's bigger cat girls.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
That's epic.
All right. That bit's over.
Yay. But yeah, tell folks who you are. I'll treat you two as normal guests, even though you've been on before.
Sounds good. Hi, we'll go first. We're Grief, and because by virtue of us talking first, we think we're the first repeat guest on the Dovecote. So,
Yeah.
hey, we're Grief. We stream, we do art. We're newer at tabletop RPG development, but sometimes we write things. We wrote a game about eating cards once.
That's awesome.
Let me get that, actually.
Eat a deck of cards for our amusement.
Yeah, get devour. Have fun.
Have fun. The first rule of eating a deck of cards is have fun and be yourself.
That's so true.
Real.
Anyways,
Queer Wrath
that's
and
our only.
Oh yeah.
I think that's one of 2 published works we've got, but that's the one we're more proud of.
Hell
That's
yeah.
good. I'm
Anyways.
Lilith Lilac Leviathan. Actually, this is the 3rd time I've been on the Dovecote if we're counting the fuck coat. So...
Well, yeah, I guess Grief also.
We were there too.
Yeah, me and Grief are the first triple guests.
We're the first 3-time guests ever.
Yeah. Triple timers.
We're
Yeah.
triple timers.
I'm the girl who's making Euphoria 2180.
Let me
Smiles.
Good game.
Clocky.
Let me get you. Clocky moments. Yeah, I've already interviewed these two. At some point next year, I'll probably bring on people who I've had already for like follow-up interviews. But I don't really
If you
think...
want to learn more about us, go to the VOD's channel and find the episodes we were on. Then you can find more about us.
Yeah, go to my YouTube. Check out those VODs.
Go to the YouTube.
Watch
Intro
me
will fly
be...
in.
Yay! Watch
Yay.
me exist here in the clouds.
Yeah.
In my previous interview.
If you want to know more about us as individuals, go into the darkness. Go in there.
You will find
You'll find the truths you seek. Give it time.
Yeah. So funny thing about not like, you know, planning for the episode to be like this is that Lilith and Grief don't know anything about the news that's going on.
We're going in completely blind here. We know nothing. We agreed to this about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Not even.
It's pretty, like, there's a lot going on. So
Oh, no.
I think we're gonna get into it because it's like kind of robust in a way that like we haven't had in a couple weeks, which is why I really wanted to do this episode. So we're gonna bring Cordis in.
Yay!
Cordis coming in from
Cordis is coming in from the last ever Pride Parade of 2024.
Yes, exactly.
I
Covered
didn't
in
know.
news.
I didn't know Cordis was that flammable. I'm so sorry.
Cordis is flammable and flamboyant. Okay. So I have a lot of stuff that I need to pull up really quickly.
Yeah.
Because I forgot.
Yeah.
but it's okay.
It's okay.
All right, we'll let this separately. I'll drop these tabs. Okay, so let's talk about this really quick. Not really quick. This will be the bulk of the episode. Feel free to send emails. I would recommend sending them like sooner rather than later. Because I don't know how long this episode will go. However, like I do kind of want to do something after. I might play some Warframe. But that might be there might be like a half a second of delay, and then I'll do that. Just so the VODs are split. But we'll see what I wind up doing. Anyways, we gotta talk about the Crit Awards more. We'd followed this story, the what is it, Waffles Maple Syrup story, has been haunting me.
We're back in there. We're back in the waffle maple syrup mines.
Back in the breakfast mines.
Do you like waffles?
Yeah, it turns out that
Not
like
these days.
this thing that I've been covering for like maybe a month has slowly morphed into like maybe one of the biggest TTRPG stories in like a year. Like it is probably the biggest one of 2024 thus far.
Listen, I know about it, and I'm not even on Twitter.
Yeah, so let's talk about what happened. So this was June 14th at 7:10 p.m. And the is this one? Hang on, wait, I think I messed something up. Oh, I'm in the wrong order. Okay, hang on. No, this was June 14th. Crit Awards say, hey, in response to the Waffles Maple Syrup person being nominated, they were like, hey, we're clarifying our code of conduct. Individuals who identify Zionist material or engage in activities that without a doubt support Zionism are not eligible for nomination. And they removed the person who basically prompted this. And this was great. This was like a really I said, and I believe my guest at the time said, like, this is a very strong showing from the Crit Awards of like, you know, solidarity and like a clear ideological position on a like really important issue. And then a couple weeks later, or you know, like week and a half later, June 24th, 8:28 p.m. They post this statement. This is extremely difficult on us as we navigate the situation that we are finding ourselves in. Updates as to what any physical event will look like will come at a later date. Until then, due to recent events and the attention that we have received, it is with an extremely heavy heart and much disappointment that the Crit Awards will be unable to return to Gen Con for its 2024 event due to safety concerns. With this said, we will be continuing forward with a virtual event as we evaluate how we will be moving forward with the celebration of the amazing creators and phenomenal community members in the TTRPG space. Sorry, I'm warming up my lips a little bit here. Tickets purchased for the Gen Con event will be refunded. We encourage any of our nominees who wish to remove their participation in any capacity to please reach out, as we understand the situation can be extremely mentally taxing and difficult in ways that may be unexpected. Voting will remain open until July 7th. We want to take this moment to reaffirm our stance that hate in any capacity will not be tolerated by any individual or groups within our event. We ask for patience as we come to terms with the situation and want to thank the community for the outpouring of support and positivity. I can never fully express what it means to both myself and the entire Crit Awards team, Ivy and the Crit Awards board. So this message would make one assume, initially made me assume, that this was a reaction to sort of an outpouring of Zionist harassment towards the Crit Awards board, and you know the broader Crit Awards pages. And then I saw a lot of people saying, how dare Gen Con remove them? And I was like, what do you mean by that? And it took me a while. I had to do some sifting because like I was worried that people were just assuming for no reason. However, same date, 6/24, 8:38 p.m., only 10 minutes after this was initially posted, Critical Bard, who's the host of the Crit Awards, made a thread about what happened. So, long post incoming. While I respect Crit Awards for taking the high road, I am traveling in the basement. Gen Con has forced the Crit Awards to withdraw because of their stance, and posting about being anti-Zionist. Full stop. As the host of the Crit Awards, of course I'm privy to more information, and I have signed 0 contracts or NDAs. This is bullshit. Gen Con has chosen money over morals. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the Crit Awards stance, and I stand by that. All Gen Con had to do was stand firm with the Crit Awards, but because of backroom bullshit, the Crit Awards have been given an ultimatum. Leave or we'll make you leave. Fuck that. If you don't stand with Palestine, stand against Zionists, I'm good on you. So this is my ultimatum. At Gen Con, rescind your decision, stand with the Crit Awards, and publicly state your stance against genocide and hate. If not, I'm out. That's my stance, the ball's in your court. Free Palestine. So this led to a lot of folks in the TTRPG community pretty understandably, like, outwardly saying, like, hey, Gen Con, if you don't go back on this, we're not going to go to Gen Con ever again. And Gen Con demonstrably blocked some folks who were, like, being critical of them in their replies, which is rough. And then I thought everything was clear on this, and then 6/28, literally, how long ago was that? Friday. We got 3:07 p.m. There's an additional statement from the Crit Awards, which details the give or take it or leave it option they were given. I'll read through all this because I think it's important. I mean, I'm realizing the top of the thing isn't showing. I'm so sorry, folks. Y'all can find this stuff on the Crit Awards Twitter page, but nonetheless, I think it'd be helpful to have it visible. So, starting with, over the past few days, we have seen an outpouring of community support for the Crit Awards. How much the support means to us is indescribable. We want to take a moment to address the situation as clearly as we can. When our finalists went live on June 14th, we were alerted to a concern about one of our nominees that had been previously associated with an actual play group. Due to the nature of the concerns, this nominee was contacted about the removal of the nomination, which was handled internally, respectfully, and without issue by both parties involved. On Monday, June 24th, at 9:34 a.m. PST, Ivy, was alerted by my staff to a situation that was breaking out that required emergency attention. Our various social media presences were being targeted by a group of people who deemed our stances as against their own, and they felt the need to use hostility to make their point known. This resulted in an onslaught of harassment against my staff, myself, and those who strive to recognize with the awards. At 12:47 p.m. on the 24th, we received an email from a member of Gen Con staff requesting a phone call, which happened at 12:52 p.m. and lasted for a total of 12 minutes. We want to emphasize that this particular staff member was very kind and apologetic about the situation and the need to facilitate the phone call. So this was all on the 24th, which was let's say, yeah, the same day that it was like 10 days after the initial announcement, and then the same day that they were later, at 8 EST. I don't know what that is in PST. I don't know how to I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry. It's like a couple hours before or after. But yeah. Same day. Gen Con requested a phone call, which happened at 12:52 p.m. and lasted for a total of 12 minutes. We want to emphasize that this particular staff member was very kind and apologetic. 5 PST. So in about 4 hours from the end of this call, they made that post about this, about the situation and the need to facilitate the phone call. We were presented with a series of options as we evaluated the situation and the choices presented to us. It became clear it would not be possible for the Crit Awards to return to Gen Con in 2024. At 4:27 p.m., we confirmed the decision to withdraw from the few options offered to us, and we moved forward with alerting the public. Yeah, so as they say. Our priority is the safety of us and our nominees, and we stand by the opinions we have publicly expressed, and we believe it has been best explained by the following. We do not condone harassment, violence, or terrorism. Zionism is a movement that has historically been weaponized to support the establishment and maintenance of an Israeli apartheid. We take issue with the pro-imperialist, anti-Semitic rhetoric that has led to the incorrect conflation of Judaism and Zionism. who supported Free Palestine and denounced the genocide that has been occurring. So yeah, this is a mess.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, is it ever!
It's a robust one, which is why I wanted to talk about it before it became too old news.
Fair.
Some very early thoughts that I wrote down was just I'm not surprised with just how institutionally powerful Zionism is in the U.S. It's just shocking to see this in the TTRPG space, and it's very clear that the value of anti-Zionism isn't consistently present beyond indie TTRPGs. Like, it's clear that there are powers that that exist beyond that and are that exist beyond that sphere ideologically and even just like industrially. But yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think about this?
I think it's good that they're being very transparent about the going-ons of like what happened and that they're staying firm in their stance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's great. The transparency really helps in a situation like this, especially because, again, that way no part of this becomes obfuscated by that, and putting it out there like this doesn't let Gen Con obfuscate the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which we feel they would attempt to do to sort of save face here on this one. It's the transparency is great, and we support the Crit Awards in the choices they had to make in this one and everything. Overall, I think they made the correct call.
Yeah.
To stand by their principles as opposed to, letting the fucking breakfast guy be anywhere, honestly.
Yeah.
God. This goes beyond that, of course, but like we just keep coming back to that guy.
Yeah, the fucking the breakfast bunch. I think it was a woman who was one of the nominees, but yeah.
Either way, fuck the breakfast bunch or whatever.
Fuck the breakfast bunch. But yeah,
fuck them.
I really think that I think Crit Bard was really right, and I'm glad that like it seems like the Crit Awards decided to err on the side of transparency here. Because there's just so much I think things would be so much worse if we never got anything from the Crit Awards confirming anything that happened.
Oh yeah.
Not that I don't believe Crit Bard, but just I think it helps a lot to have it straight from the horse's mouth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And as you said, well, again, we all know going on in the world how much of a driving factor, and especially the U.S. and various pits of politics, that Zionism has been. Seeing it at even this level, like in the TTRPG scene, is kind of a fucking. It's a wake up call and a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really agree. Like, I mean, I think knowing that like one of the guy who like ran that Obajima game at MomoCon with the Breakfast Bunch person, and like, it was a Ghibli inspired game with like no Asian people in the cast.
God, we think about that like honestly once a week, and we laugh about it every goddamn time.
Yeah, like racists and like racist men and like Zionist men have like so much power in the TTRPG space, and I also think about like I mean, like, we've played a lot of 7-Part Pact on here, and like 7-Part Pact is implicitly about like it's an allegory for like the things that like the things that happen in the TTRPG space in a lot of ways, where you have all these fucking wizards who are like so deeply in their shit.
Fucking wizards.
It is a lot about structures of power of people who are so deep in their shit they don't see how much they suck.
Yeah, misogyny and gatekeeping and like making rules that don't really make sense, and making rules that aren't rules, and like deciding that the things that you don't like are against the rules rather than following any sort of specific code. And I think that this is very reflective of that. I think that like I think that Gen Con is just like, yeah, we can we can remove a like major TTRPG award show just because they did a political move that we don't agree with. I think is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
hope
absolutely.
the kickback, or not kickback, but the backlash hurts Gen Con.
We hope it hurts them a lot.
Because holy shit.
Yeah, I just hope it hurts them more than it hurts the the indie creators who are deciding not to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That is ultimately like the thing that happens here is you create an environment where certain sorts of folks are going to be more prioritized than others, and like decisions like this are not like economically neutral. Like
Yeah.
they decide like who can be networked with and who can network with who, and it's pretty, it's a really ugly situation. Oh, do we want to get 6 in here?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely, sure.
I'll have to really quickly set up the another name tag. Actually, here, I think what I might do is just how do I want to do this? Hi, 6. Welcome.
Hi.
Whoa.
We're talking about Zionism.
We are.
Oh, great!
This
is every
prior.
episode of DOVECOTE.
Yeah. I don't want to anymore. I'm done. It's enough. It's
What happened
enough
with the crit?
slices. A lot. Hang on, I need to.
Jeez. The only thing I know about the crit awards was a Lancer homebrew was up on the ballot.
Was it yours?
No, it wasn't mine. If it was mine, I would have told you about it.
We're gonna try and make this nice. Okay.
You can put all of us on the same tag. Does anybody here have any different pronoun?
Okay, so Lilith is here. Ignore the pronouns that are currently there.
It's basically dead on already.
Wait, sex, what pronouns?
She it.
Okay. Don't laugh. I promise this is regular. Is there a way that I can make this like grow?
Stretch it out.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go, baby. Okay.
This is the future of streams.
Yeah. I don't want to have to like copy and paste a whole bunch of stuff. Because OBS does that annoying thing where everything gets copied goes up to the top, and I just have so much stuff.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna quickly. Just want to lengthen things a little. Okay, and then Lilith in the middle. It's a bit of a mess. That's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes, Goblin.
That's
Yay!
the goal here.
Yippee!
Yay! We win.
We will topple the U.S. government.
Not related, but like, does the Supreme Court decision that was made recently in the U.S. just mean that like Biden could like order them to drone strike the the Supreme Court? Like, how does that work? If presidents are exonerated for any crimes they commit while they're in the presidency, like, what are the bounds of that? Are they just like ideological? I mean, I think that's probably the answer. Is that like,
yeah,
it's definitely ideological, but it also means that realistically speaking, it becomes a question then of what limits could be pushed. Unfortunately, we have boring, terrible people that wind up in the president's office, and people who would really push that to its limits.
Yeah, Biden should jack off on live television.
Biden should rob the nearest McDonald's.
Hey, Jack, watch this. My orgasm is really cool, Jack.
Yeah, So true.
Hi, welcome to the DOVECOTE, a
Yes.
professional tabletop RPG discussion.
I'll show you why I
podcast.
was at a nursing home. They were nursing
You
this,
suck,
somebody
and
Jackson.
you're a loser, buddy.
God. But yeah, the Crit Awards, I'm not gonna explain the whole thing, but basically, Gen Con told them that they can't. Gen Con gave them an ultimatum that we don't know the nature of, but basically it was like, don't, like, you either have to, like, renounce the fact that you, aren't taking Zionist nominees, or you need to, like, not go to Gen Con, and they decided not to go to Gen Con. And are refunding all the tickets, which I imagine is a pretty hefty expense.
Yeah.
Wait, so Gen Con was like you need to have Zionist ballots or whatever?
Well, yeah, they basically because the Crit Awards were like, the Crit Awards had a nominee who was like in the like Waffles Maples the breakfast bunch, whatever their name is, who was like a Zionist, and people complained, and then the Crit Awards removed them, and made like a statement, and then Gen Con, you know, Gen Con was like, hey, get out of here. There's also a lot of like harassment towards the Crit Awards people, which like, I am curious if there were if like some of this was like more about security. I suspect that it's Gen Con being like, hey, you can't do that, but I do think there is a like possibility that we should be open to, which is that this was actually about or not actually, but like this is partially about security. Like the choice was, you know, was something else, but I assume the choice was like redact the thing that you said, or we're not going to let you be here.
At best,
knowing the way people are.
At best, it's a situation of Gen Con going, hey, out of concern and safety, here's the option here. That's at best. Our assumption, however, this is just us making a gut read on this, especially from events becoming bigger like Gen Con and everything like that, is that it's a money thing. And it's a centrism thing of, well, we don't want to upset anyone because they might buy a ticket. And what? If we don't allow Zionism in there, what if a Zionist doesn't buy a ticket to Gen Con? Then what?
God forbid.
Well, then we're fucked.
Scientist doesn't go
The
to
Crit Awards
Gen
did
Con.
not consider the racist voting bloc.
Yeah. You gotta consider the
And
racist.
a rookie mistake for a tabletop gaming award ceremony, truly.
If you do not allow for a gaming awards ceremony, if you don't allow Zionists and racists in, what are we going to do about all the Warhammer players? That's our one shot. All right. That joke's off the table. Now we're done.
There we
that.
go.
That's our one shot.
Thank you.
That's our one shot.
From the fucking sheesh, from the fucking bleachers.
All right. That's our one joke on the matter.
Let's celebrate joy. Art Fight starts today, so the website's unusable.
That's so true. I'm waiting like a week.
Art Fight will not be ready to go for approximately 15 days, normally.
Yeah, you gotta wait a little bit.
That gives us time to get refs ready to go, because we forgot to do that in advance.
Art Fight actually starts on July 15th and ends August 1st.
I don't know why anybody is going in on the first. That don't make no sense to me.
Yeah.
But I'm just a simple country girl.
Yeah.
No, you aren't.
That's probably enough about that story.
Alright, well.
Yeah.
Fuck off Gen Con. Like, come on.
Fuck you.
Alright, next one's
playing a new
bit
game.
more lighthearted. Wait,
Yay.
you playing a new game? What game?
I've been playing Death Must Die. I think it's similar to Vampire Savior. It's alright.
Is that
It's
a video
got like
game?
these pixel. Yeah, it's a
Shut up.
video game.
Get out of here.
No video games.
Die.
Yeah, we've been playing a cool
Oh,
new
no.
It's a role-playing
that's been
game.
coming around called Final Fantasy 14. That's our last reference to it, we promise.
What's Final Fantasy 14?
Oh no, I just see you pull up the Wizards D&D
Yeah, we gotta talk about the
Twitter
table.
account.
We gotta talk about the table.
Oh god, the table.
Why do we have
The
to
table?
talk about Dungeons and Dragons?
We have to talk about the table. We have to talk about
It's
the table.
really
This
funny
is-
is the problem.
This is my feelings on the table, anyways.
So,
Oh no.
I've read the table.
the 2024 Player's Handbook for D&D has a video game-esque, a Watch Dogs 2-ass pre-order table.
Huh.
With, like, you know, you get X, Y, and Z.
Early access!
Depending on how much buckaroos you spend. You get a gold dragon, you can't really see it. You get a gold dragon digital mini if you buy one of the latter one.
Upcoming
digital
3D virtual tabletop?
Uh-huh. The one they haven't named yet? Yeah, that's
This is a scam!
and to,
How much is it? How much is it for that 3D
the-
model?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where are the like tiers.
I think there's an arrow on the sidebar of the big picture.
Oh.
Okay,
on the
like-
left.
At least
Sure.
when you spend $180 on like Watch Dogs or Elden Ring, you get a
Yeah.
real statue.
That's images.
There's no images of the golden dragon.
Oh well, I don't assume. I mean, it's perspective. It's like it's a fucking NFT.
Listen, they
Oh.
haven't finished creating the 3D virtual tabletop. You think they've made the dragon yet?
Oh, okay. So this is depending on whether you get digital and physical or. Oh, it's okay. It's you bundle. This is so cringe. So if you get this, yeah, this is the one that gives you the fucking dragon.
I see.
For
$180?
dragon. Get your $180 dragon.
God,
That's
Wait,
it's
oh
not
my
even
God.
a real gold dragon. For that money,
Listen.
I could get like an actual like nice pewter dragon sculpture.
It's
Listen,
so
okay,
funny.
we're just saying.
Realistically,
if we sit down at the table and we go, all right, we're playing a bit of, I guess we got to play D&D 2024 edition, whatever that means now. And someone goes, all right, check out this cool dragon. I spent $180 on the rulebooks. I am logging off and I'm going to their house and I'm putting them in a dumpster.
so getting 3 physical books is like $130, right? So those other $50 is like the 3 digital books, the dragon, and some other thing. Like, do they just really want you to have the digital versions for their D&D Beyond stuff? Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Realistically speaking,
why are they
here's-
trying to sell the digital copy
Now,
so hard? And
here's
then it's like,
our
oh yeah,
thing.
D&D Beyond sucks.
Yeah. Here's our thing. All right. This is a soul read. We've watched businesses do this before. They're pushing the digital edition so that in the next 3 to 5 years, ideally, they can see about making a more of a push to save on production costs by moving to a more digital exclusive storefront. That way, if most people have the book digitally, then they have to keep paying to get their access to it, or they might lose it.
No, that's so fucking dark.
And then the physical books, oops, those are special collector's items. They're going to go through the roof.
Are the digital versions at least going to get erratas?
No.
Everybody.
Okay.
No, really.
Okay. We gotta talk about something. So, couple things. Weird seeing this in teacher. Here are my notes. Weird seeing this in the teacher RPG because it's usually in AAA games. 2. So like the Golden Dragon, right, is like a major kind of character in the new D&D 5.5 stuff. Is this a collector version of that character, or do you just not have the Golden Dragon to use in your games for X amount of time or forever if you didn't pre-order the thing? Like, how does that work?
It might be, honestly, they might just be like, oh, you have to buy it separately later on when they go, oh, and if they do that, that thing's costing minimum $50.
They're like, okay, here's the digital tabletop, and you can buy models for the digital tabletop for X amount of
And
money, and you can buy these
that's-
digital minis
And
Oh my
that's
god,
the
why would I
thing
just not
here.
play fucking literally anything else?
Yeah, but here's the thing about that, is that what they're selling you here in that $180 bundle isn't the dragon figure. It's the promise of the dragon figure for a tabletop system that they might honestly just up and abandon in 6 months to a year. Knowing Wizards, they might just abandon it. You
Knowing
might
those
never
goddamn
see that
Wizards.
game. And that's
The inevitable
shitty as
arcane
hell.
tricksters.
Yeah, well, something that's really interesting to me is like, I think about OMM, which was a VTT, virtual tabletop that like, One More Multiverse, which is being shut down because they
Rip
didn't make
to
enough
One
money.
More Multiverse.
It was great. I mean, you can
so
still use it
cool.
now. It is great. It like prided itself on being really flexible and letting you import things and letting you make your own stuff. Because it knew that like inflexibility would be the like, you know, the death knell of a VTT like that, of like a highly digital, highly visual VTT. You need like flexibility. You need to be able to like put things in for free and interact with things for free. My theory, I think I'm going to be proven. I'm like almost certain I'm going to be proven fairly right about this. I think immediately when this D&D VTT comes out, it's going to become very clear to people that like they do not have an interest in that sort of flexibility. You are not going to be importing Blender models into their VTT. They're going to be selling skins to you and monsters and like various assets. It is not going to be affordable for the average GM or player, and just going to be extremely rigid with the tools that you do have.
Yeah, we've got two things we want to emphasize on here as well, especially with that golden dragon. That point, this is a side note, something of a tangent. That golden dragon you mentioned being core to the story stuff going on with this kind of the folks here, which is a bold thing for them to do, because as speaking to you here as someone who is writing a tabletop RPG that is set in a defined world and a defined space that it has, there requires a certain level of care and attachment to it beyond the dollar that Wizards of the Coast has never had. Or if they did, it was back in the 80s. Not anymore. I don't think they can pull that off. I don't trust them to. And also, how many times do you think they're going to sell Curse of Strahd to you?
Every day.
Tabletop? How many times? I'm guessing at least 4 different versions. Minimum. Of Curse of Strahd.
Wendy was talking about how an element of like NPCs that's really interesting, like the reason why Curse of Strahd is so compelling is because like he's a character with like autonomy and like a sense of realness, and like for the most part that's just something that D&D that like cannot do, and so I cannot imagine that they're going to do anything interesting with this fucking dragon.
And here's the thing, and is the best example of that is Strahd himself. If you look at every single version of the fucking Strahd and Ravenloft that has existed, because over time it just becomes worse. They just try and expand more, and they make it bad. They make the whole thing bad. Yeah, a lot of feelings about Curse of Strahd. We've played through Curse of Strahd 5e about 4 times.
I'm so sorry.
Where we have a lot of opinions about it, and we're very mad about it all the time, forever.
It's honestly really not surprising that they're doing this now, considering. So I see a huge parallel between these actions and the recent actions of Games Workshop with the release of 10th edition Warhammer or 40k. Of just like, here's digital versions of the books. Not gonna update them. You're gonna have to still buy the physical copies. Except this is worse. Because bare minimum, at least GW produces like physical miniatures. These aren't real miniatures. Like,
Yeah.
You can't even paint this golden dragon.
you can't even paint this golden fucking dragon.
The Digi
And
realm.
especially if this is them leaning into their like the fact it's labeled the 2024 Player's Handbook gives me cause for concern that they're planning to move to their updated yearly release plan for it.
Dear fucking god.
Yeah, that's
Which
scary.
is a terrifying thought, especially if they're trying to push, which would explain them leaning into more of a push for digital, because it's a lot easier for them to go, this version's out of date. Sorry, you got to buy the new one.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for them to pull that shit, and it sucks.
Thank you,
Also,
Wizards, for being the
realistically-
AAA company.
Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for being the worst ever.
Pioneering new vectors of bullshit in the tabletop gaming space not thought possible till now.
Also, wait,
Yeah.
I don't know what these mean. What is a frame? What is a dice set frame? Like, are these digital? Are the like, if you get a digital only Player's Handbook, you get 12 dice sets. Is that digital? I guess that
I'm
is.
assuming
Oh.
those are like, yeah, I'm assuming those are
all of
like
this.
when you open up what is it, like the Owlbear rodeo thing, and you can
No,
like
you're
pick what your
kidding
dice
me.
look like.
Mhm.
I'm assuming
you're
it's that.
No,
You're
it
kidding
really.
me. You're kidding me. No, the dragon
Overwatch
is not,
Origins
you're not buying the
Edition.
promise of the golden dragon. You're buying the promise of the whole 2024 Player's Handbook. The
God.
whole damn thing. You're buying a promise for none of this exists.
All
None
this
of this
pre-order
is
stuff
real.
is a secret Kickstarter. They secretly haven't written anything yet. They need to save up some money for it.
If
Oh my
there's any
God.
saving grace to any of this, it's that 2-week early access period, because it means by the end of it, the smart people will have it for free because it will have been uploaded in its entirety.
Yeah. God,
And then I will
it's
be able to import it into my other D&D stuff that actually works properly.
Can you edit
Because
an
it's
eye
free.
patch onto all three of us?
Why?
We're setting sail, baby. When
Oh, I
this comes
see.
out, we're setting sail.
yeah.
Not that I
Yeah.
even. No, to be honest, pirating D&D 2024 sounds like a lot of fucking effort. I could just play something else.
Yeah, listen, here's the thing. We know for a fact. We're making this one personal here in this case. We know for a fact, unfortunately, we don't get a say in this matter. We will have to pirate it because you know who this is aimed at? People like my DM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
People like him with too much money and not enough care, and who will go, well, I want the cool new minis. And he will pay
Fair.
money for them.
Not real.
Pirating D&D is like going to a thrift shop, stealing a rusty old knife, and stabbing it through your hand. Like, technically you've stolen something, but...
You've lost something in the
you lost
process.
something in the process, yeah.
They somehow sneak into this edition. Sam.
Oh yeah, there's. I mean, because they can't prevent themselves. It's part of it. The system does what it's made for.
Listen, it would imply for a minute that their writer's room had someone that wasn't like... They had someone in their business room that wasn't a white straight dude.
Uh-huh.
To imply that there won't be the weird racism through the whole thing.
Yeah, and the people, like...
It'll be there.
The people who they do have, who are, like, people of color, are tokenized. Like, we know this, because, like, there are people who have said that as much, who worked for D&D and were these kind of, like, tokenized...
Those sensitivity
folks.
writers who will
Yeah.
give their 2 cents and then it's like, okay, awesome, thank you for that, and then they don't do anything with it.
They felt disregarded and tokenized and used, and, like, we know that this is part of the way that D&D makes things, and it is probably still part of the way that they make things, because, like, you know, they're fucking Dungeons and Dragons, like,
Yeah,
it's...
if they were making any sort of design decisions based on someone who wasn't... If they were making any sort of design decisions that weren't inherently entirely rooted in their stock shares of the company, literally anyone could have told them that this, what we're looking at right now, this table, is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It
The
looks
whole thing's
awful.
This whole thing's awful. Play something that
Yeah.
isn't D&D, folks.
Play something
Play
that isn't
something that
D&D.
isn't D&D.
By God.
For yourself, for the people at your table, for the world, for love. Play
For love.
anything else.
I wish I could just take a
Your
big
heart.
marker and put like red over this thing.
Needs revising.
Needs
Come see me after
revising.
class.
Yeah, see me after class.
The whole thing.
Insert famous Garfield quote here.
What's the quote?
Burn down Wizards of the Coast headquarters.
Whoever
Garfield.
made this should be dragged out into the streets and shot.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, check out the Teacher Producer Palestine bundle. There's some great games in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Oh
I
wait,
play
no,
6
it
hours
ended
of D&D a
today.
day for my battle pass.
Oh,
No.
Wait, playing 6 hours for your battle pass? Dude, I gotta get the Raven from Teen Titans skin for my sorcerer.
I have to play enough D&D Beyond so that way I can unlock the hollow foiled Driz or whatever his name is.
Hang on,
I
wait.
need to unlock my golden dragon.
Here.
I need to unlock.
It's at the end of the battle pass.
My ultra
Okay,
rare
no porn.
beach outfit. I need my ultra rare beach outfit, Strahd. All right.
Dude,
If I don't have him in a
gotta
thong, how can I do it?
Gotta grind up more gold and XP to finish to reach level 70
Live
in the
tweeting.
D&D 2024 battle pass. I gotta unlock the Raven skin for my level 6 warlock.
That's really good.
Oh my god.
That's
There we go.
So your
It's,
Dragon's
thank
Dead
you.
edition really adds a lot.
That's
I like
I just had the fucking horrific fault of mind of like they already have Adventurers League. They just have like an online Adventurers League thing where that's unironically what starts
Oh.
happening. Is you level up your character to unlock things in the fucking digital tabletop game as long as you're going through official Adventurers League D&D sessions.
That's scary. I recommend from that bundle because apparently it's already over. It was over this morning. I really recommend. Actually, let me look through this. We can let me give some actual recommendations rather than
Fist.
just kind of BSing. I mean, first of all, I would recommend check out my game in here, We Who Travel by Starlight. This is only available through this bundle for now, so give that a look.
Oh, Legionnaire's in here.
Yeah,
Legionnaire's also on the Crit Awards. That's a Lancer homebrew. That's pretty popular.
Yeah, let's sift through these and folks can call them out. If you see any that you know and like.
Mandelbrot for Fist. That's a good
Wanderhome.
one.
Wanderhome's good. Fist, Guba Banwa.
We're big fans of definitely Wizards, personally.
Oh, hell yeah. Eyes on the Prize, by Ira. Good friend Ira. Let's see. We're sifting. I'm saying Cuticorium by my friend Duck. Unfortunately, I don't know all of these. I really should. The Fall of Home, I heard is
Beacon.
great.
Beacon tabletop role playing game
Oh, yeah,
by Pyra Gonzalez Games is another.
We think
really
this
nice
one.
one.
This might be the one that has Songs for the Dusk in it.
Oh yeah,
which is
Gravemire
another killer one.
by our previous
Ooh,
guest.
Gravemire, yes.
Moonlight on Roseville
I-
Beach is supposed to be great.
I'm realizing now that I have shit on Itch.io that I could probably just put in bundles like this.
Yeah, you should.
I should because
We should start.
I just saw Legionnaire on there. I'm realizing, oh, I guess I really could just. Oh, they got Dwarfborg.
I forget things about
We're
Eidolon.
realizing we should attempt to put "You Have to Eat the Cards" into more bundles.
Yes, good.
Catch people by
Just so more
surprise
people
if
are
they're
eating
not-
cards.
Just to keep, if they're keep them on their toes. They got to notice we're asking them to eat cards.
Yeah.
Gotta pay attention.
Hey, there's Beacon.
Odd Corpse. I have not heard of that one. An unfinished dream game by Snake Bones.
A lot of cool stuff
Fun
here.
Fun thing for me is I recognize none of these.
That's valid.
Well, skill issue, I think.
Scepter of Dreams, which is one of the first games discussed on the show, actually.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, by Piper. I really should sift through this because there is some cool stuff here.
Yeah.
Puppies are having a hoot down there, ain't they?
I don't know if I actually wound up buying
They really
this because sometimes I don't buy bundles.
We'll tell you this: we know for a fact you did buy this bundle because before you cropped it in, it said at the top you bought it 29 days ago.
Yay!
Yay!
So
The buyer.
Conflict of Interest by Barclay.
We're immediately drawn by title alone to Forbidden Psalms for the Wretched.
Oh, that's good.
That's a really good title. Ooh, we want to get... We bought this... Oh, there's our favorite. Don't kill a bird with a baseball.
Oh, yeah.
One of the greatest systems ever written.
Yay.
Yeah, there's a fucking lot here.
There's so many games in here.
Give it a look. Look at it.
Anybody here? We got any Lancer fans in chat? We got any
Trish.
Lancer fans in chat?
Got any Lancer fans in chat?
Got any Lance heads in chat?
I hope
That's what we
not.
call ourselves in the Lancer fans. We call
Yeah,
ourselves.
like
Lance
I could
heads.
keep. Oh, there it is. That's the end.
Just take that penny and put it in your pocket.
Take that penny and
No.
put it in your pocket. Suck that penny.
Actually, take that penny after you suck on it and put it in the pocket of TTRPGs for Palestine.
Oh, it's Victor's D&D subclass. That's fun.
No.
Unfortunately, you can't buy this anymore. Oh, and also the Varus Bestiary. What else? I have to be honest, a lot of the time I just know the games made by people who I know. Which is, I guess, kind of a... But sometimes I know games and then I know the people who made them. It really depends.
Mods, can we get Goblin's Rule Forever banned for saying Lancer Delta Dune? Can we dox him and have him shot?
No, sorry.
I think they're correct.
Did you say
Can't do
correct?
it. Correct.
Correct. Here we go.
See, the fun thing for me is I play like 3 tabletop games.
Hmm.
And right now I'm not even playing a 3rd one.
Fair.
I just finished my Lancer AP.
Sick.
Yeah, there's technically one more game for it, but they fought and killed the final boss and everything. It's 41, will be 42 episodes long.
Woo, big gay robots, woo. Hi Sprite Cheesy.
Woo!
We gotta read the mail.
Yay,
Oh,
mail!
shit.
Mail. We got a mail.
Woo!
Okay. So, questions from, as always, I mean, do I even need to say it?
Shout out Goblin.
Goblin, the VIP, Skibbity Bop and Dada. Question 1. I'll post this in the launchpad.
Yes, please.
We're in like an open call, but we've put a status that says to check in before joining.
Yeah.
Where would you recommend someone start if they're interested in making TTRPG stuff? I've been constantly starting and stopping projects yet no one has really, not one has really gotten anywhere.
Well, I guess we'd have to define our terms. What do we mean by anywhere? Like just finishing it, or like fostering a community through your homebrew, or through your tabletop stuff? I jumped to homebrew because the thing that I always think people should get started in is in homebrew.
I think a good first step is talking to other people who make games. And like discussing game design and such. Make a game with a friend. That's a real good way of getting it.
Yeah.
Find a game you wish was better and make a better version of it. Spite is a really good seed for TTRPG projects.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. If we may also talk a bit about our experience and our answer to that question, because we feel you on that one. We understand that as someone who has gotten, we've got several ideas on the burner, but we haven't completed many of them because, it's feelings. A lot of it is just struggling to finish out an idea or really define something down. Sometimes you need to commit to writing the worst idea you've ever had.
Yeah.
That's how we wrote a tabletop RPG in 2 hours about eating a deck of cards.
That's another thing. Starting small, pretty good thing, because it doesn't matter if you can't write more than 10 pages if your game is only 9 pages.
Yeah. We struggled with the notion that we had to be writing something bigger. We had to be writing something that felt impressive to stand alongside some of our cohorts, the people we've been talking to. We had to write something that felt like it had impact. The easiest way to get over that, we found again, is to try and write something in like one day, 2 to 3 hours, sort of thing. Again, the rule set for you have to eat the cards we wrote in 5 minutes. That most of that 2 hours was us laughing to ourselves because it was a stupid idea.
Make a one-pager, baby. Make something that's really simple.
Take a single idea and refine that like a razor blade. Again, we're going to keep going back because this is our main reference point. The entirety of you have to eat the cards is based on a very simple premise. What is the fastest way we could convince someone to eat a deck of cards?
Really funny.
That's what the whole thing was based on, was the idea of, what if I made you eat a deck of cards? That's it. That's the whole idea. That was the whole starting point. And yeah, Eden, great point. Make bad games. Make things that suck. Put your heart into making something that's terrible.
I made like 3 bad games before I started working on Sapphic World. And Sapphic World started as a pretty bad game. Like, I think it takes a lot of refinement. It takes learning from other people. Like, it takes, honestly, building relationships and, like, asking for people's advice. And, like, there are a lot of people, like, finish a project, get someone who wants to do a trade with you, like, who has made successful games, and then just, like, think about the things that they say and apply those to your future projects. Like, I think I learned a lot from initial, like, conversations about Sapphic World with, like, Jay, for example. Which, like, I realize, like, I'm pretty privileged in having, like, access to someone who makes games for a living, but I think nonetheless, like, I think there are a lot of people around you who I think are reach out and share and collaborate.
I'm kind of an outlier because I didn't do any of that. I kind of developed and did all my games independently. I didn't really have anyone I talked to. Everything I did was like ambitious homebrew stuff for 5e and then Lancer. I've just always worked with somebody else's system. It's like a jumping off point for communicating creative ideas. Like that gives you a pretty strong basis for like a game design language and learning what like communicative language looks like, because ultimately at the end of the day, tabletop RPG writing isn't creative writing, it is technical writing, it is rules, it is communicating ideas effectively, and communicating ideas effectively is creative writing when you're trying to tell a story with that. But like at the same time, first and foremost, you need to find a language that communicates things effectively. Which is why I usually recommend homebrewing, because homebrewing teaches you very quickly how to communicate things by aping the language of the game that you're playing within.
So
again, like I did all my stuff independently, and then just sort of came out and started hanging out with other tabletop creators afterwards.
So what we're getting at here, I think, to sum up the points we've all made, is that the best way to start making tabletop RPG stuff is that there is no best method besides making stuff. However you decide to make stuff, make stuff. That's the hardest part.
Yeah. To say it concisely,
Dude, sucking at something is the first step towards being sort of good at something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Audio jungle.
thank
You should.
Audio
I guess
jungle.
you should unapologetically and unhealthily be obsessed with something that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You should have something of a unhealthy borderline sexual fixation on something you're working on and make it for 3 freaks at most.
Borderline.
Everybody in this call is
Eclipse,
borderline.
Eclipse, this is about Eclipse, this is about starting out, all right? This is about taking your first steps, okay? You can go past borderline fixation on sexual fixations on whatever you're working on after. You can get there, but it's intimidating to start there.
You can have a full sexual fixation after the test.
You can have sex with the game after the playtest.
Join us for our next hotly anticipated release, You Have to Fuck the Rulebook.
Yeah.
You need to get all dirty with those pages, Gordon. I want them sticking to one another.
Okay. Next question. What do you look for in TTRPG art? I have opinions on this as a person who has like done some curation for Sapphic World, and some commissioning for it. But yeah.
As somebody who did all the art for a book, recently, my homebrew game, I did like 99% of all the art in that. There's like 3 pieces in it I didn't do. Fuck. I don't know what people like in tabletop art. I'm gonna be fucking honest with you. Like, there's some sort of magic sauce that people want. Like, talking from the perspective of somebody who's trying to create things for people to consume and just sticking my fingers in the water and what people actually enjoy, I got no fucking clue. It's like there's like a certain threshold of like sauce that somebody wants, and then the rest of it's just luck as to whether or not people actually vibe with it.
To give our perspective as someone who has not created art
Sorry.
for a tabletop RPG book.
Sorry.
Oh,
I was gonna show some examples in a second, but I accidentally. Why is this? Wait, what is this?
Look at that cool guy.
How did that happen?
That
The
epic guy.
mohawk.
Okay, this is just fucked up. I need to just remove this asset. Oh no, that's. Uh-oh. Hey, how do I remove that? Okay, we're
Subway
good.
Surfers in the
Everything's
corner.
fine.
All right. Anyways, before getting into the examples that Eclipse is attempting to provide here, we'll talk a little bit as an outsider in that, because we haven't created or curated art for a tabletop RPG book, but we like it. We're opinionated about art as a commission-based artist. We've got the vibes we look for to answer the question, which is to say, the important thing about the art that goes into a book, is not the quality of it. Some of the best tabletop RPG rulebooks we have seen have been drawn in like MS Paint.
For real.
It's about art that is evocative. It's art that has an inherent understanding of what it's for, I suppose, in that it connects to the emotions of the tabletop RPG itself, I feel. It's got to connect with the rule book in its own way, and it represents it, I guess.
Yeah, I would
It's got to
agree.
feel alive, we think. It's got to have a sense of life to it.
There needs to be a synergy there. I wish I could show layout stuff for biotraffication, because that helps a lot. A lot of it is accompanying layout and accompanying text. Like, there have been a lot of pieces that I've like swapped out in biotraffication because they were next to something that they didn't feel right with. Like, for example, the text for the stop scene was right next to. Hang on, I'll find the piece. The text for a while, the text for the stop scene was right next to this piece, which felt incongruent, and so we moved this piece up somewhere else, and we moved this piece down to the stop scene, and so like congruence is really important in that regard. You need to make sure things are in the right spot, and then also for me, palette and style, I think, are really important.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I tend to... Recently, I've been doing, like, really striking, like, low-color palettes. Like, if you look at, like, the Autopsy Feast cover, you'll see that. But like, Sapphic World's a lot more kind of eclectic with its palette. But even that has some rules. Like if you look at if you compare, say, like let me see here, like this piece by Helena Beatriz, which is like a lot of oranges and pinks and other stuff, and it's in Holy Hermitage. If you look at any art that's also in Holy Hermitage, you'll see a lot of the same colors. And part of that was like actually ironically kind of retroactive and me like scrambling to figure things out. But ultimately, like it did kind of work out. But yeah, there's kind of a broad palette to it. And I think having that's really important.
Yeah. Also, Goblin, there is nothing stopping you from drawing a pretty picture and then putting text around it. They just have to be connected.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could draw a pretty picture and draw the text out from it. For what's supposed to go there, perhaps. I don't know. Visual aids help a lot. Sometimes we draw shit before we write anything. We're a very visual brained person. So usually when it comes to making rules and shit for writing stuff down, the image is there first in our brain. We can see the visual we want to have, and the writing comes from that visual.
I was thinking about my work again, and like of the question of like what do I value in the shit that I make? It's usually spectacle. Like 900% of like tabletop RPG stuff that I think that I value personally is like the spectacle of something that's fucking cool. That usually grabs people's attention because like. You can have all the confidence in the world in your writing and in the rules, but at the end of the day, what draws people into a tabletop game is always going to be the art first and foremost. It is simultaneously, like the, it's your walking advertisement for your work. That's what the cover is ultimately. Is it's a hook. So I always value spectacle when I'm doing my work, and things that are really. And above, like especially which why I focus a lot on like technical proficiency because like this drawing in particular I did like 2 years ago, and I wouldn't say it's my most technically proficient work, but like the raw amount of spectacle that I put into it, I think is what carries it into being something that a lot of people really fuck with.
Yeah. So, Six, we might just say here up front, you might be one of the most visually interesting and like energetic and lively artists we've ever seen, and we fucking adore every piece of art you've done.
Yeah,
there is so much life and character in everything that you draw, and holy shit, we want to steal all of your ability in life for ourselves.
Clips, put the back titties back on screen.
Put the back titties back on screen.
Okay, I can. I promise I will.
Bring them back.
Six, your art triggers a cuteness aggression in me. And I'm doing everything in my power not to walk into your room and hurt you on stream. Smiles.
Six, we want to put your art in our fucking mouth, and we want to eat it. We want to eat your fucking art, alright?
Thanks, I do appreciate that, because writing is something that like I feel like I struggle to give advice on, mostly because I just do it. You know what I mean? Writing's something I just do. Art is something that I worked on getting good at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we get you. We get you.
Art you want to fuck.
Art you want to fuck.
Look, people sell food. It's why all food is so weirdly fuckable.
Yeah. Look forward to special guest artist Six Valentine on the upcoming hot new release. You have to fuck the rulebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Those pages are slick. I'm also revealing. I am making a horny game. That's what gunplay is, and I've so been just not in the right headspace to finish that. I think I do just want to fucking bite the bullet and make it a Forged in the Dark.
Yeah, fair.
We feel that as someone who wants to write at least one Forged in the Dark game and shit, and we've had a game idea we really want to sit down and keep writing on about a bunch of like a bunch of friends homoerotically building a flesh homunculus.
Hot.
You have to fuck the book.
You have
to fuck
Hot
the book.
upcoming release. You have to fuck the book.
Question 3, I think we kind of hit on, which is, do you have any resources for aspiring TTRPG artists? Any advice, like any like pointed lists? I will point out, the place where I get my palettes is where is that? Low Spec. Highly recommend the Low Spec palette list.
So
People just
useful.
make palettes, and you can just like grab them and be like, "Hey, this is awesome. This is mine now."
Yeah.
You should steal.
Yeah, like
And,
you don't
like,
need
the
to
way that
credit
you're
these
supposed to
palettes.
steal.
I don't credit them.
You how do I okay, I'm gonna send you another piece of art that's a good example of this, and I'm gonna send you another image.
You should like get inspired and like and play with that inspiration.
Even drawn
But also-
butthole for JD. Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Like I drew this character recently who's supposed to be like a Sapphic World like Cliffoth concept character who like a lot of elements of her design are just kind of taken from the like murmur in Warframe. Like the whole idea of like stone limbs I found really compelling. And like heavy kind of brutalist fashion is really compelling to me. Like sometimes you just gotta take aesthetics from things that you like. Here
Yeah.
I will.
Okay, put those two images next to each other, so I can explain what I mean.
I see what you mean. Or ketchup.
Literally, it's free. Do it.
I might need to really quickly. It might take me a second to get this up because I have to like. You know how OBS is.
I know how
OBS
that
is like
bitch be.
this.
Yeah.
I know how that OBS, that bitch special.
You know when that OB bling.
You know I need to restart my stream.
Yeah.
That
Great.
open source fucking streaming service.
Yeah, what's up?
So look at this.
Look at that shit.
Look at the pose.
I stole that. I just stole that composition completely, and I stole the fucking. Listen, this is just a fucking Shutterstock stock image of a girl in like a 70s dining outfit in a pose. Steal that. Fucking just do it. Seriously. Listen, half of that clothing stuff I traced in the sketch, and then I went back over in the liner, and then it just sort of looks different by the end of it. You know, like
Yeah.
just steal shit.
What's
That shotgun stolen. That's a PNG that I then went back over. That shotgun shell stolen. That Polaroid not as stolen. I did look at a ref for it though. Monster can. All of this shit.
Titmouse use the Clip Studio Paint 3D models for their art. They're a like a really not the anime studio, the person. They're really great like porn artist. And their art looks great. Like I highly recommend using references, using tools. No one will know. No one will notice, and it will make your work better. And like you will get a better understanding of how these things work just by like, molding the lines to them.
Those,
In my opinion.
in the picture frame of the background of that, there are pictures in those frames. Those are just stock images with Gaussian blur. If we go back to the OMDI cover, there are textures baked into the image that are just PNGs with digital filtering that are just like space filters and stuff. The pose of the person pulled from a picture. The fish, also just a traced over picture.
Yeah.
Just steal shit.
Listen,
Especially if you got a tight turnaround.
Yeah, steal shit. And listen, there's one artist that we know, one of our dearest friends, who has this weird policy where he refuses to use references, and he's a lunatic.
Uh-huh.
He's the only one we know like that. Use references, please.
If you
Don't
look at
be
this,
insane like him.
This biotrophication image is baked over the Pillars of Creation, a NASA photo. You can kind of see it.
God, that's sick as fuck.
And then also, if you look at any of my... There's a lot of like really fun ways that you can use you can use things like if you look at where's the one that I did recently for We Live Forever? I know I did some sort of border thing recently for the game. I feel like I did recent art for this game, and now I'm just not finding it.
That's so sad.
Oh, I think it was the rework of yeah, it was the rework of the page 1 art. So if you look here, this is actually a census, like the like rim here, the paper is a census from the 1960s. And then also if you look at the new dot unfold, you'll see. Actually, I have a picture of the texture. So this is a thing that is in the background of the new dot unfold border. It might be on the text or on like the main text too. It's huge, so I gotta shrink it down quite a bit. But you'll be able to see it soon. This is an overlap of like a bunch of end of service announcements that I just like put together, and this is the texture for the main like pages for new dot unfold. So you know, have fun with it.
Cool.
Get a little silly with it.
Yeah. Get silly with it. Shout out to Eden, who I've been using her weird glitch art that she makes for backgrounds of my renders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we think again the page design, the page layout we did for You Have to Eat the Cards. Every single part of it is something we pulled from something else, like stock clip art we pulled together and threw in there, just like standard effects we fucked around with. It's steal shit.
Yeah,
it's no different than just doing mixed media stuff.
Everything you do will be all the richer if you steal.
Steal and use. Yeah.
That's true in art and life. Go to the nearest convenience store, put your hands in the cash register. It's your money now.
True. Question 4.
Well,
sorry.
I mean, you could just skip the middleman and just steal the food.
Right. Question 4. Sorry for not finishing the bird yaoi. It's okay. I'm excited to see it whenever you do. Or if you don't, that's totally okay too. Question 5. I think you said Lilith has advice for Warhammer alternatives that don't suck so bad. Is that true?
Like I said, it really depends on what you want to get into Warhammer for. Like, if you are just interested in like the lore of Warhammer, just don't buy anything. Just listen to like YouTube videos of like really autistic 40-year-old white guys who are
You should
too autistic for their own good and make like 5-hour-long lore videos.
I mean, you could also just watch The Emperor Has Text-to-Speech. I think that's an awesome fucking series.
Yeah.
I think that series taught me Warhammer lore, and also wasn't boring. It was great.
If you want to get into it for the game aspect, there are just simply better war games. If you want to get into it for like the painting of minis,
Battletech.
not even getting into like specific things. Go into like Etsy and type in like wizard miniature or something along those lines. Like some guy you want to paint, and you're going to find some random shop in like Indiana who prints that miniature on a little 3D printer and will mail it to you.
Here's a fun thing as well. If you want to if it's about painting stuff for you, go to your local dollar store.
That too. Rogue Trader.
They've got a lot of like little like lawn figures or ceramic things at a surprising amount of dollar stores that you can just buy and paint.
Rogue Trader era wackiness. I like it so much, and I hate how it's claimed by racists.
Always play the Rogue Trader games.
Huh?
Always play the Rogue Trader games.
You could.
Well, you drew JD's butthole? I missed that. That's awesome. I don't know why I missed that message. That's awesome.
That's so cool. Wow.
Or sorry, butthole for I don't know if it's JD's butthole. Sorry. Someone else
JD and a butthole are involved, I guess. That's the important part of the message.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking for, like, setting wackiness, like I said, there's other things that are, like, pastiches of 40K, but, like, different in specific ways. I could probably go on a whole list about, like, little indie companies that are making their own games that you should play.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have any
the first one that's coming to mind is Armada by Mantic. Where you are like little fantasy ships doing ship battles. What the fuck is it called? Clack? I think it's abbreviated to like Last Argument of Kings or something like that. Or Conquest Last Argument of Kings. That game's miniatures are really good because they're on like 40mm scale, 50mm scale, so they're real fucking big. And in my experience, bigger miniatures are more fun to paint. Turn Up 28, where you can make your own little guys. Hell, even if you're wanting to engage with the actual like setting of 40K, there is so many like defunct 40K game or there's so many defunct Games Workshop games that you can just get the rule set for and make miniatures for. Like I know there's Inquisitor 28, which is a game that has not been supported by Games Workshop in like 30 years. Where you just play as like Inquisitor agents fighting each other. I'm having trouble thinking of more. One page rules. What the fuck is it called? It's like one page war game or something like that, where it's like vague, like science fantasy stuff, similar to 40K, but just easier to play. A better game.
Neat. So yeah, play those games, Smiles.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's all the questions that we have. Does anyone have any questions in chat? Before I think I'm just gonna pivot to Warframe maybe. I don't know.
Fuck yeah, Warframe.
I think we'll just like wrap up the Dovecote here and then God, it's only an hour and a half. I mean it's not terrible. Usually it's 2 hours.
Listen, this was a short one. This is like only
true.
slightly shorter than a normal one.
I did warn
Frankly
that it would be a
speaking.
short one.
We expected it would be even shorter, frankly speaking, so
Yeah.
this is good.
Any
Elevated
questions
its lifespan with one more surprise guest from the top rope.
Yeah? Who's that?
Never
Who's
mind,
that?
I couldn't get him. Gary Gygax wouldn't pick up the phone.
Damn!
I think he's dead.
Fuck.
Fucking God.
Fuck, shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in BRB, and then there'll be a little blip while I make sure that the VODs are separated. So it'll be a different stream. It'll go off for like a tiny second, and then I'll be back with some Warframe.
Yay.
Thank you all for being on. I really appreciate the last minute arrivals. Is there anything that you all want to promote before we head off?
Join us tomorrow morning. We're going to be playing Final Fantasy 14 on stream. That's all.
Yes.
Come play Final Fantasy 14 with us. That's all.
I like it was said in chat earlier and was like pinned for a little bit. I today have opened up $100 3D model commissions to help pay rent and bills and shit. Please commission me.
Please
Just
commission
give
Lilith.
money.
I'm Lilith on the Planet Darling Discord. You can see the little green goat lady as my profile picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything, Six?
Buy my homebrew or buy my OMDI art pack for Lancer stuff.
Oh yeah.
Buy Six's mysterious brew.
It's $10 or $15 for the look.
Here's the OMDI. Oh, you already? Okay.
Oh, the OMDI or
OMDI forever, punk.
yeah, buy that. I guess I also technically do commissions. I just don't advertise them right now because I'm so busy.
That's fair.
Yay! Yay!
But if you offer me a significant amount of money, I will probably just cut ahead and do it.
Awesome.
Real.
All right. Thank you all for watching, and we'll be right back for folks who want to watch me play Warframe for a little bit.
I'm gonna go get snuff bait tattooed on my stomach.
Okay, is that real?
We're going.
Reminder one last time for you in the chat. Go to your local convenience store right now. Put your hand in the cash register. Their money is your money. Now.
As right.
You don't even need to take anything. You can just kind of like a rat in a rotten pumpkin. Yeah.
Just hold it.
You can just like stay warm in there.
Go in there and hold the
Yeah,
money.
that's your new home.
You live there now.
Put your hand in there and just like cover it with the money like it's a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See y'all soon.
Bye-bye now.